The story that we're going to read today is called Tops and Bottoms, and this is adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens, and this is an animal fantasy. So we have some talking animals in this book. This is kind of a fun one too. It's not written where you read from left to right. You read this one from the top to the bottom. So that's why our screen is the other direction today. So Tops and Bottoms by Janet Stevens. I want you thinking about the characters. See if some of the characters maybe change over time, and think about the traits that those characters have. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Oops. Now, what's a character trait of somebody who only wants to sleep? Let's read on. Not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He'd lost a risky bet with a tortoise, and he had sold all of his land to Bear to pay off the debt. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something, Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. Now, if they're cooking up a plan, that's a clue that tells me they're maybe pretty clever. Let's see if that holds true. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house, and Bear, of course, was asleep. "Hello, Bear, wake up, it's your neighbor Hare, and I have an idea." Bear opened one eye and grunted. "We can be business partners," Hare said. "All we need is this field right here in front of your home. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and then we can split the profit right down the middle. Yes, sir, Bear, we're in this together. I'll work and you sleep." "Huh?" said Bear. "So what'll it be, Bear?" asked Hare. "Do you want the top half or the bottom half? It's up to you. Tops or bottoms?" Let's see," said Bear with a yawn. "I'll take the top half, Hare." "Yeah, right, I'll take the tops." Hare smiled. "It's a done deal, Bear." Whoa, sorry about that. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. Looks like they're working hard. That's a trait too. But Bear is still sleeping. What does that tell us about Bear? Bear slept as the crops grew. I'll let you look at the picture quick. When it was time for harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the tops and I get the bottoms." Are you liking it so far? This is one of my favorites. Look at this. Look at that picture carefully. What had Hare planted? Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, and the beets. Hare plucked off the tops. He tossed them into a pile for Bear, and he put the bottoms in a pile for himself. Bear just got the leafy tops. Do we eat the tops of the carrots? No, we only eat what grows in the ground. Uh-oh, Bear's awake now. Does he look very happy? Bear stared at his pile. "But Hare, all the best parts are in your half." "Oh, you chose the tops, Bear," said Hare. "Now, Hare, you tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season I want the bottoms." Hare agreed. It's a done deal, Bear. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted and watered and weeded. They're all working, and of course, Bear is sleeping. Bear slept as the crops grew, didn't he? Once again. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear. You get the bottoms and I get the tops." So since Hare gets to decide what gets planted, that might be part of why how he's tricking them. Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. So thinking about how those plants grow, the bottoms are just the roots. We don't eat the roots on those vegetables, do we? Do you think Bear is going to be mad? Did he get tricked? Bear looked at his pile and scowled. "Hare, you cheated me again." "But Bear," Hare said, "you wanted the bottoms this time." Bear growled. "You plant this field again, Hare. You tricked me twice, and now you owe me a season with both the tops and the bottoms." You're right, poor old Bear," sighed Hare. "It's only fair that you get both the tops and the bottoms this time." Think in your head, are there any predictions that you have? So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded, then watered and weeded some more. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! Wake up! This time you get the tops and the bottoms." How could he maybe be a trickster? How could he trick him with the tops and the bottoms? If he's going to give both the tops and the bottoms to Bear, I wonder what the trick might be. There in front of Bear's house lay a field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top and put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle. There it is. He collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and he watched. "See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms and I get the middles." "Yes, sir, Bear. It's a done deal." I think Bear's pretty upset, but he still was being lazy all that time. By now, Bear was wide awake. "That's it, Hare," he hollered. "From now on, I plant my own crops and take the tops, the bottoms, and the middles." Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward home. Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. Hare bought back the land that he had with the profit from the crops, and he and Mrs. Hare, they opened a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. Did Bear change? Thinking about that, did Bear change in our story? Well, how would you describe the change that happened to Bear? And then I would like you to think about Hare. What are some character traits for him? So character traits for Hare and Bear. And how do you know? What's the evidence in the text? What did the author actually include in the story so that you know what those character traits are? Okay, there's clues in there that make you think of the traits. Okay, you can pause this video and then I'm going to see if you came up with the same traits as I have. Did you come up with maybe clever or sneaky for Hare? Yeah, he was pretty smart. He was really clever. He was a trickster, wasn't he? He was tricking Bear each time. He would plant something that grew its crop in the top when Bear wanted the bottom, and then if Bear wanted the top, the rabbit would plant something that grew underground. Okay, so then what did you call the bear? What was a character trait for Bear? Did you say lazy? Awesome. Yeah, he was lazy, but did he change during the story? We know he was lazy. The evidence is he kept sleeping through the harvest. He kept sleeping through the planting and all of the tending to the vegetables. But then we know that he changed at the end because it said that he never slept through another season. So we know that he did change his ways. His trait had been lazy, lazy, lazy. His dad had given him money and he'd been lazy all his life until he finally learned his lesson. And I think our lesson is that we should not be lazy. So there's a little moral to the story. Thank you for listening with me today.